Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar Rashutara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar Rashutara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar Rashutara Shata Shishimar Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki. Sorry, yeah, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gopshodas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Patadash Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Kora Mandala Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Panihati Gram ki jai. Shri Dahi Chira Mahotsav ki jai. Danda Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Par ki jai. Shriman Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Raghava Pandit ki jai. Damayanti Devi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Raseshwari Mataji and Satya Mataji. Dandavat pranams to both of you. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad-Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang pravrajantam apeta krityang dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedustang sarvabhuta hridayang munimanatosmi narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Shrinvatang Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Suritsatam Nashta Prayeshvavadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina. Sorry guys. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai Kshiptastakama ditaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapana Vrinde namaste charana ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Uh-oh, has it been cutting out? Hare Krishna, Gargaraj ji, Dandavat Pranam. So today is a very special day. It is Danda Mahotsav, also known as Dahi Chira Mahotsav, Dadi Chira Mahotsav. It is the day when Nityananda Prabhu in Panihati Gram, he gave a punishment to Raghunath Das Goswami to feed all the Vaishnavas. And then after that festival, then Nityananda Prabhu went to Raghava Pandit's house and ate all the prasad cooked by Damayanti Devi. Anyways, this is a beautiful pastime, and I will go live at 11 a.m. Right now it's 7:38 a.m. India time. So at 11 a.m. India time, I will go live in Mayapur, and Padmanabha Maharaj, he will give a special class there in Mayapur in honor of that day. So I'm not going to speak on it now. Today we'll just finish this chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and then, yeah. And then later on you can tune in if you like. Hare Krishna, Madhavi Didi, Dandavat Pranam. What happened? Why is it not letting me share my video? Okay. So, let's go to the beginning of this chapter and read all the translations that we read before. We're reading the Disappearance of Kṛṣṇa. King Parikshit said, after the great devotee Uddhav left for the forest, what did the Supreme Lord, the protector of all living beings, do in the city of Dwarka? After his dynasty met destruction from the curse of the Brahmanas, how could the best of the Yadus give up his body, the dearest object of all eyes? Once their eyes were fixed upon his transcendental form, women were unable to withdraw them. And once that form had entered the ears of the sages and became fixed in their hearts, it would never depart. What to speak of acquiring fame, the great poets who describe the beauty of the Lord's form would have their words invested with joy. And by seeing that form on Arjuna's chariot, all the warriors on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained liberation. Shukadeva Goswami said, having observed many disturbing signs in the sky, having seen many disturbing signs in the sky, on the earth, and in outer space, Lord Krishna addressed the Yadus assembled in the Sudharma Council. He addressed them as follows. The Supreme Lord said, O leaders of the Yadu dynasty, please note all these terrible omens that have appeared in Dwarka, just like the flags of death. We should not remain here a moment longer. And then we read halfway through this commentary. Oh, God, let's just go through it again a little bit. So internally, the Lord thought as follows. Among all the persons who came to meet me from various places during the trip to Kurukshetra, Kali came unnoticed by others and spoke to me. "O Master, when will I take charge of the earth?" I said, "You can take charge only when my pastimes are over. After I disappear with the right given by me, Kali will pervade the earth. However, during my present appearance, Dharma has increased to 4 legs, even greater than in Satya Yuga. If Dharma is so strong, how can Kali rule? The rule is that Kali will rule when there is only 1 leg of Dharma remaining. One should not say that when I disappear, then the 4 legs of Dharma will also disappear." Anyway, so we read all this. And then he talks about how I have said, "Avajananti mam murda manusham tanun ashritam." The fools deride me, thinking that I have a material human form. I have described the results of such thinking. Among those who cannot distinguish this truth, those who are devotees do not gain salokya, those who are karmis do not attain their material fruits, and those who are jnanis do not attain liberation. They assume the nature of rakshasas and asuras. Just as eyes afflicted with jaundice see a shining white conch to be yellow, people whose minds and eyes are afflicted by Maya will see my departure pastimes, which are actually full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, but they'll see those pastimes to be afflicted by material misfortune. They will see and conclude that I gave up my body along with all associates like Pradyumna and the queens like Rukmini, and that the queens like Rukmini were burned in the funeral fire. Not only the materialists will see this, even persons like Arjuna will see this by my divine will. Sages like Vaishampayan and Parashar will describe this in their works. And Shiva, my devotee, taking birth in Kali Yuga, will preach this in a commentary of the Vedanta Sutras in order to spread Kali's influence. Okay. Krishna possesses that form suitable for human pastimes to show the full capacity of his Yoga Maya. That form astonishes even the Lord of Vaikuntha. It is the pinnacle of auspicious qualities and enhances the beauty of his ornaments. Okay, now we came to the section. I'm just, because it was a long purport, I'm just trying to get the gist of it. Here is the evidence showing that the Lord's form, name, abodes, and qualities and pastimes and associates are all eternal. So then we read all these different verses from different scriptures, how they're all showing how they're all eternal, and now we're seeing proof from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam about how the Lord, his associates, they're all eternal. Tavat prasano bhagavan pushkaraksha krite yuge darshayam asatam kshata shabdam brahma dadad vapu. O Vidura, the lotus-eyed Lord, having a body made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, pleased with Kardama, showed him his form in Satya Yuga. The English is so awkward in this. This is Bhanuswami's translation. But yeah, the English is super awkward. Sometimes it's difficult to read. Yatar vapur bhakti vibhushana yudar avyaktachir vyaktam adharayad dhari pabhuvate naiva savamana vatu sampashyator divya gatir yata nata. The Lord, whose body is eternally endowed with ornaments and weapons, which is invisible to the word, maybe it's supposed to be world, which is invisible to the world, and with spiritual form became visible. See what I mean? The English is really awkward. Then in the presence of parents, to please them, the Lord, like an actor whose actions are hard to understand, became Vaman, a Brahman dwarf, a brahmachari. Okay. Tamatvatmajan avyaktamartya lingam adhokshajam gopi kolukale damna babanda prakritim yata. Okay, looks like there's a line missing. That unmanifested person, who is beyond the perception of the senses, had now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:9-14. Satya Jnanananda Matreka Rasa Murtya Asprishta Bhuri Mahatma Api Upanishadrisham. The forms of Vishnu all had eternal, unlimited forms. Sorry. The forms of Vishnu were all eternal. Oh God, it's so difficult to read this. The forms of Vishnu all had eternal, unlimited forms, full of knowledge and bliss, and existing beyond the influence of time. Their great glory was not even to be touched by the Gyanis engaged in studying the Upanishads. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:13-54. Asyapi deva vapusho maranu grahasya svecha mayasya natubhuta mayasya kopi neshe mahi tavasitum manasantarena shakshat tavaiva kim utatma sukhanubhute. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? Tasmad idam jagarashesha masat sarupa. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:14-2. It's prayers of Brahma. Tasmad idam jagarashesha masat sarupam sapna bhamasta dishanam purudukha dukkam tvayeka nitya sukhabodhatanav anante mayata udyadapiyat sarivavabhati. Therefore, this entire universe, which is like a dream, is by nature unreal. Nevertheless, it appears as real, and thus it covers one's consciousness and assails one with repeated miseries. This universe appears real because it is manifested by the potency of illusion emanating from you, whose unlimited transcendental forms are full of eternal happiness and knowledge. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:14-22, also prayers of Brahma. The Shruti also says the name of the Lord is eternal. Om asya jananto nama chirvivaktana. You who know the name of the Lord is spiritual should chant it. That's from the Rig Veda 1:156-3. The present tense in the following verse indicates the names are eternal. Bahuni santinamani rupani cha sutasyate guna karmanu rupani tanyaham vedano jana. For this reason, for this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:8-15. Anama rupa evayam bhagavan haririshvara akarteti chayo vedhai smrita bhishcha bidhiyate. The Lord is said to be without material name, form, and action, according to the Vedas and Smriti scriptures. That's from the Padma Purana. The statement in Vasudeva Dhyatma summarizes the meaning. Aprasiddhes tu gunanam anama so prakirtita aprakritattvara sorry, aprakrit, aprakritattvad arupyasya apirupo sab udiryate sambandena pradhanasya harir nasteva. Oh, God. Oh, this is the wrong meter. Whatever. Akartaram ata prahu puranam tam puravida. Sorry about that, guys. I get confused because the verses aren't broken up, and so. Because his qualities are extraordinary, the Lord is said to be without name. Because he does not have material form, he is said to be without form. Because he has no relation to matter, the Lord, the doer, the ancient sages say he is without actions. Because he has no relationship with matter, the ancient sages say that he is without actions. The Lord, who is actually the doer, says that he is without, the sages say that he is without actions. Sorry. Upasakanam siddhartham brahmano rupa kalpana. This means that the deity forms of the Lord are for the purpose of worshippers perfecting their worship. Those forms may be made of stone, wood, or metal in the form of Ram, Kṛṣṇa, or others. It does not mean the spiritual forms are assumed by Brahman only for worshippers. The abodes of the Lord are eternal. Tasam madhye shakshar brahma gopala purihi. Among the places, the village of Gopal is directly Brahman. That's from the Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Nitya me maturang vidi purim dvaravatim yatata. Know that my abodes of Mathura and Dwarka are eternal. That's from Padma Puran. Sometimes the phrase Vanam Vrindavanam Tata replaces Dwarka in the last quotation. The Lord's pastimes are eternal. Eko Devo Nitya Lilanurakto Bhakta Vyapi Bhakta Hridyantaratma. The one Lord, absorbed in his eternal pastimes, pervades the devotee and resides in the heart of the devotee. That's from the Purusha Bodhini Shruti. The present tense in the next verse indicates the eternal nature of the pastimes. Jayati jana nivaso devaki janmavado yaduvara parishatsvar dorbhirasyanna dharmam stirachara vijanagna susmita shri mukhena vrajapura vanitanam vardayan kamadevam. Lord Sri Krishna lives eternally among the cowherd men and the Yadavas, and is conclusively both the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty and the cowherd men, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious. In Vraj, Mathura, and Dwarka. He kills everything inauspicious in Vraj, Mathura, and Dwarka. By his presence, he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. And he destroys the suffering of separation of the inhabitants of Vraj and Dwarka. His blissful, smiling face always increases the desires of the gopis of Vrindavan and women of Mathura and Dwarka. He remains eternally in this situation. That's from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:90-48. So it's the last verse of of the 10th canto, right? I think so. Kamam krodam bhayam sneham aikyam sohridameva cha nityam haro vidadato yantitan mayatang hite. Persons who constantly direct their lust, anger, fear, protective affection, feeling of impersonal oneness, or friendship toward Lord Hari are sure to become absorbed in thought of him. Okay. The associates in the pastimes are eternal. Yatha somitri bharato yatha sankarshanadhaya tata tenaiva jayante nirjalokar yadrichaya ete hi yadava sarve margana eva bhavini sarvata matpriya devi mattulya gunashalina. Just like Lakshman and Bharata, just like Lakshman and Bharata and Sankarshan, The Yadavas appear in this world by coming from their spiritual planets by their will. All the Yadavas, my associates, are dear to me and equal to me in qualities. And they are equal to me in qualities, all the Yadavas. That's from the Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda 229, verses 57 to 58. Nityavataro Bhagavan, Nityamurti Jagatpati, Nityarupo Nityagandho, Nityaishvarya Sukhanubhu. The Supreme Lord, Master of the universe, has eternal forms, eternal avatars, eternal fragrance, eternal power, and eternal bliss. That's from the Brihad Vishnu Purana. Thus, there can be no objection concerning the Lord. The phrase flags of death indicate death. We should not stay here a moment longer. Sometimes I feel like it's like translated by Google Translate. I just want to see what was the verse that Kṛṣṇa said? I just want to get the flow again. So, having observed many disturbing things in the sky, on the earth, and in outer space, Kṛṣṇa addressed the Yadus assembled in the Sudharma Council Hall as follows. The Supreme Lord said, O leaders of the Yadu dynasty, please note all these terrible omens that have appeared in Dwarka just like the flags of death. We should not remain here a moment longer. Okay. Just checking the comments. Haribo, Gopikant Prabhu, Sudevi Didi, Kishore Prabhu. I'll read that verse at the end that you shared. Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and Mohar. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Yeah, okay, let's continue. Striyo balashcha vridhascha shanko dharam vrajantviha vayam prabhasam yasyamo yatra pratyak saraswati. The women, children, and old men should leave this city and go to Shankodhara. We shall go to Prabhas Kshetra, where the river Saraswati flows towards the west. Sārārtha-darśinī. Praitak means flowing to the west. Tatra bishitcha shuchaya uposhya susamahita devata pujayishyama snapana lepanarhanai. There we should bathe for purification, fast, and fix our minds in meditation. We should then worship the Devatas by bathing their images, anointing them with sandalwood pulp, and presenting them various offerings. Sārārtha-darśinī. Ashitya means bathing. Abhishitya. Brahmanangstu mahabhagan krita swastyayana vayam gobhu hiranya vasobhir gajashvaratta vishmabhi. After the Brahmanas have completed the auspicious rites, we will worship those highly fortunate Brahmanas by offering them cows, land, gold, clothing, elephants, horses, chariots, and dwelling places. Vidiresha yarishtagno mangalaya namuttamam deva dvija gavam puja bhuteshu paramo bhava. This is indeed the appropriate process for counteracting our imminent adversity, and it is sure to bring about the highest good fortune. Such worship of the Devatas, Brahmanas, and cows can earn the highest auspiciousness for all living entities. Sārārtha-darśinī. Bhava means auspiciousness. Iti sarve samakarnya yadu vriddha madhu dvisha tateti no bhirutirya prabhasam prayayuratai. Having heard these words from Kṛṣṇa, the enemy of Madhu, all the elders of the Yadu dynasty gave their assent, saying, "So be it." After crossing the water in boats, they proceeded on chariots to Prabhas. Tasmin bhagavata dishtam yadudevena yadava chakru paramaya bhaktya sarvasheyo pabrimhitam. There, with great devotion, the Yadavas performed the religious ceremonies according to the instructions of the Supreme Lord, the Lord of the Yadus. Sārārtha-darśinī. The Sandhi in Shreyo Pabrimitam is poetic license. Let me just check the... Okay. Tatastasmin mahapanam papur mairekayam madhu dishta vibranshita dhiyo yadravar brashyate mati. Then, their intelligence covered by fate, they liberally indulged in drinking sweet liquor, which can completely intoxicate the mind. I think I remember reading that they read rice, that they drink rice liquor, right? Sārārtha-darśinī. Maireyakam is a type of liquor. From this verse till verse 23, the opinions of others, which are not the actual truth, are expressed. The Lord has said, interesting. So we're gonna read the opinions of others, not the actual truth now, from now until verse 26. The Lord has said, Vayam chatasmin aplutya tarpayitva pitrin suran bhojayitvo shijo vipran nana gunavatandhasa teshu danani patreshu shraddayoptava mahanti vai vrijnani tarishyamo danarnobhir ivarnavam. By bathing at Prabhas Kshetra, by offering tarpanas to the Pitris and Devatas, by freeing the worshipable Brahmins with various delicious foodstuffs, and by bestowing gifts upon them as the most suitable candidates for charity, like sowing seeds, we will certainly cross over these terrible dangers through such acts of charity, just as one can cross over a great ocean in a suitable boat. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:6, verses 37 to 38. Thus, the Devatas, on the strength of the Lord's words, overcame the curse of the Brahmanas by giving charity. Drinking wine, they disappeared and ascended to Swarga. The Lord's version of events starts in verse 27. Previously, the Lord said, Mitto yadaisham pavita vivado madvam tatamra vilochananam naisham vadopaya iyan atunyo mayudatentar dadate swayam sma. When they will quarrel among themselves, with eyes red because of complete intoxication from liquor, they will actually not die. The cause of their disappearance is otherwise. Only when I decide that they disappear, they will disappear spontaneously. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3:15. The meaning of the above verse is this. When the quarrel will arise, it is not a method of killing them. That quarrel among them cannot be a cause of their death. Even beating each other with handfuls of reeds will not kill them. The quarrel and the killing seen by ordinary people are not factual. Then what was the cause of their destruction? It is other than killing. It is something other than killing. What is it? When I desire, they will simply disappear. That is certain. Okay. Mahapana bhimattanam viranam dripta chetasam Kṛṣṇa maya vimudhanam sangarsha sumahan abhut. The heroes of the Yadu dynasty became intoxicated from their extravagant drinking and began to feel arrogant. When they were thus bewildered by the personal potency of Lord Kṛṣṇa, a terrible quarrel arose among them. Sārārtha-darśinī. They became bewildered by Kṛṣṇa's maya. Who is this? Did we do that? Such is the bewilderment. Sangharsha means an intense quarrel. Yudhu krodha samrabdha Velayam atatayina dhanurbhir asibhir ballair kadabhis tomarashtibhi. Infuriated, they seized their weapons and fought each other with bows and arrows, swords, missiles, clubs, lances, and spears on the shore of the ocean. Patatpatakairatakunjaradibi Kharoshtragobir mahishar narar api Mithas sametyashpatarai sudurmuda Nyaham sharar datbhir iva dvipavane. Riding on elephants and chariots with flags flying, and also on donkeys, camels, bulls, buffaloes, mules, and even human beings, riding on human beings, oh my god. The extremely enraged warriors came together and violently attacked one another with arrows, just as elephants in the forest attack one another with their tusks. Pradumna sambo yudiruddha matsara Akrura bhoja vaniruddha satyaki Subhadra sangrama jito sudaruno Gado sumitra surato samiyatu. Their mutual enmity aroused, Pradyumna fought fiercely against Samba, Akrura against Kunti Bhoja, Aniruddha against Satyaki, Subhadra against Sangramajit. This is Subhadra, the short A. It's not Krishna's sister, obviously. It's Subhadra, male. Sumitra against Surata, and the two Gadas against each other. Sārārtha-darśinī. One Gada was Krishna's brother, the other Gada was Krishna's son. Oh wow, so is the uncle and nephew fought against each other. Anye cha ye vainashat mukad nashol. Oh God, let me just see what the meter is for this. Anye cha ye vainashatol mukadaya sahasrajij chatta jirbhana mukya Anyonyamasada madantakarita Jagnur mukundena vimohita brisham. Others also, such as Nishata, Ulmuka, Sahasrajit, Shatajit, and Banu, confronted and killed one another, blinded by intoxication, and thus completely bewildered by Mukunda. Sārārtha-darśinī. They became blinded by the intoxication. Or andhakar can be combined with the suffix ita to form andhakarita, produced in darkness, similar to words like tarita, produced with stars. Dasharha vrishnyandaka satvata madvar buddha matura shura sena Visarjana kukura kuntayascha metastu jagno suvisrijya sohridam. Completely abandoning their natural friendship, the members of the various Yadu clans, the Dasharhas, Vrishnis, and Andakas, the Bhojas, Sattvatas, Madhus, and Arbudas, the Mathuras, Shurasenas, Visarjanas, Kukuras, and Kuntis, they all slaughtered one another. Putra ayudhyan pitribhir bhratribhish cha swashriya dohrita pitra matulai pritva pitri. Oh God, how do you do that? Pitra. That is the funniest word. Pitra matulai mitrani mitrai suhrida suhridvir Gyating tvan gyataya eva murda. Okay. Thus bewildered, sons fought with fathers, brothers with brothers, nephews with paternal and maternal uncles, and grandsons with grandfathers. Friends fought with friends, and well-wishers with well-wishers. In this way, intimate friends and relatives all killed one another. Oh, God, this is so heavy. Shareshu hiyamaneshu bhajyamaneshu dhanvasu Shastreshu Kshiyamaneshu Mushtibhir Jahrure Eraka. When all their bows had been broken and their arrows and other missiles spent, they seized the tall stalks of cane with their bare hands. Sārārtha-darśinī. Jahru should be Jaguruhu. Okay. Tavajrakalpa Hyabhavan Parigha Mushtina. Sorry. Tavajrakalpa Hyabhavan Parigha Mushtina Bhrita Jagnur Dvishashta Kṛṣṇena Varyamanastutam Chate. As they took these cane stalks in their fists, the stalks changed into iron rods as hard as thunderbolts. With these club-like weapons, the warriors began attacking one another, and when Lord Kṛṣṇa tried to stop them, they attacked him as well. Sārārtha-darśinī. Holding the reeds, which became like iron clubs, they attacked each other and attacked Kṛṣṇa. Pratyanikam manyamana balabhadram cha mohita antum krita dhiyo rajan apanna atatayina. In their confused state, O king, they also mistook Lord Balaram for an enemy. Weapons in hand, they ran toward him with the intention of killing him. Manjari, do you need the key to the room? It's right there. If you need it.
Where?
Right next to it.
Right, I'll try here first.
Okay. So weapons in hand, they ran toward him with the intention of killing him. Whoa, in their confused state, O king, they mistook Balaram for an enemy. With weapons in hand, they ran toward him with the intention of killing him. Atatavapi sakruda what's the meter for this? Okay. Atatav api sankrudha udyamya kuru nandana eraka mushti parigho charanto jagnatur yudhi. O son of the Kurus, Kṛṣṇa and Balaram then became very angry. Picking up cane stalks, they moved about within the battle and began to kill with these clubs. Sārārtha-darśinī. They began to get angry. Udyamya. They took fistfuls of reed as well. Brahma shapo pasrishtanam Kṛṣṇa maya vritatmanam Spardha krodhakshayaninye Vainavognir yatavanam. The violent anger of these warriors, who were overcome by the Brahman's curse and bewildered by Lord Kṛṣṇa's illusory potency, now led them to their annihilation, just as a fire that starts in a bamboo grove destroys the entire forest. Evam nashteshu sarveshu kuleshu shveshu keshava avatarita bhuvo bhara na itimene vasheshita. When all the members of his dynasty were thus destroyed, Lord Kṛṣṇa thought to himself that at least the burden of the earth had been removed. At least the burden of the earth had been removed. Ramasamudravelayam yogamastaya porusham tatyajalokamanusam sangyojatmanam atmani. Lord Balaram then sat down on the shore of the ocean and fixed himself in meditation upon the Supreme Lord. Merging himself within himself, he left this earth planet. Sārārtha-darśinī. He gave up the earth planet, or gave up the human body, lokam manusham. Ramaniryanam Bhagavan Devaki Sutta Nishasada Daropaste Tushnim Asadya Pipalam. Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, seeing the departure of Balaram, silently sat down on the ground under a nearby pipala tree. Sārārtha-darśinī. Okay, so remember before Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura says that all those verses that we just read, those really disturbing verses, is the opinion of others. Now, it's in his commentary, he says, from here, the Lord's version starts. Right? Yeah, I think so. Seeing Balaram return in his Sarup to Mahavaikuntha and his Angsha go beneath Patala as Shesh, Krishna sat under a pipala tree. Okay, so Krishna saw Balaram return to Mahavaikuntha and his Angsha go to Patala as Shesh, Ananta Shesh. Vibraj Chatur Bhujam Rupam Brayishnu Prabhayasvaya Disho Viti Mira Kurban Vidhuma Eva Pavaka Shrivatsankam Ghana Shyamam Taptahata Kavarchasam Kosheyam Barayugmena Parivitam Sumangalam Sundara Smitavaktrabjam Neelakuntalamanditam Pundarikabhiramaksham Spuramakkarakundalam Kartisutra Brahmasutra Kirita Katakangadai Haranupuramudra Kostubena Virajitam Vanamala Paritangam Murtimadbir Nijayudai Kritvoro Dakshine Padam Asinam Pankajarunam. The Lord was exhibiting his effulgent four-armed form, the radiance of which, just like a smokeless fire, dissipated the darkness in all directions. Sorry. God. Just like a smokeless fire, dissipated the darkness in all directions. Let me reread that because that was annoying, that call. The Lord was exhibiting his effulgent four-armed form, the radiance of which, just like a smokeless fire, dissipated the darkness in all directions. His complexion was the color of a dark blue cloud, and his ornaments emitted effulgence the color of molten gold. He bore the mark of Śrīvātsa. A beautiful smile graced his lotus face. Locks of dark blue hair adorned his head. His lotus eyes were very attractive, and his makara earrings glittered. He wore a pair of silken garments, an ornamental belt, the sacred thread, bracelets, and arm ornaments, along with a helmet, the Kaustuba jewel, necklaces, anklets, and other royal emblems. Encircling his body were flower garlands and his personal weapons in their embodied forms. As he sat, he placed his left foot with its lotus-red sole upon his right thigh. Sārārtha-darśinī. His ornaments gave off a golden glow. Mushalava Shishaya Kanda Kriteshur Lubdako Jara Mrigasyakaram Tachcharanam Vivyada Mrigashankaya. Just then, A hunter named Jara, who had approached that place, he mistook the Lord's foot for a deer's face. Jara pierced the foot with his arrow, which he had fashioned from the remaining iron fragment of Samba's club. Sārārtha-darśinī. The hunter pierced Krishna's foot. This means that the hunter Jara thought that he had shot a deer. Actually, his arrow only touched Krishna's foot, but did not pierce it, since the Lord's limbs are full of eternity knowledge, are composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Otherwise, when the hunter in fear placed his head on the Lord's foot, as explained in the next verse, he would have taken out the arrow. Chaturbhujam tam purusham drishtva sakrita kilbhisha bhita papata shirasa padayor asura dvisham. Then, seeing that four-armed personality, the hunter became terrified of the offense he had committed, and he fell down, placing his head upon the Lord's feet. Sārārtha-darśinī. His sin was that he had fired an arrow at the Lord. Ajanata kritam idam papena madhusudana kshantum arhasi papasya uttama shlokame nagha. Jara said, O Lord Madhusudan, I am a most sinful person. I have committed this act out of ignorance. O sinless Lord, O glorious Lord, please forgive this sinner. Sārārtha-darśinī. You should forgive my sin. You are sinless. No sin can exist at your feet. Thus, you are qualified to forgive my sin. Yasyanu smaranam drinam agyana dvantanashanam vadanti tasya te Vishnu maya sadhu kritam prabho. O Vishnu, O Master, the learned say that for any man, constant remembrance of you will destroy the darkness of ignorance. And I have wronged such a person. Tanmashu jahi vaikunta papmanam regalubdakam yata punar aham tveyam na kuryam tar atikramam. Therefore, O Lord of Vaikuntha, please kill this sinful hunter of animals immediately, so that he may not again commit such offenses against saintly persons. Sārārtha-darśinī. Fortunately, I have no pain in my foot, but you, with the intention of violence, shot the arrow. In response, the hunter speaks this verse. He says, therefore, please kill me immediately. The following description was previously given. Tesham maireya doshena vishamikrita chetasam nimlochati ravavasir venunam eva mardanam. As the sun was setting, with consciousness distorted by intoxication of liquor, they destroyed each other, just as bamboos, by mutual friction, start a fire and destroy the whole forest. Bhagavan svatma mayaya gatim tam avalokasa sarasvatim upasprishya vrikshamulam upavishat. Seeing this action of his Maya, Kṛṣṇa, sipping the water of the Sarasvati river, sat down under a tree. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3:4, verses 2 and 3. According to the third canto, when the sun was setting and the Yadus had killed each other in battle, the Lord sat down on the bank of the Sarasvati river. Then the hunter approached to kill a deer. But this is not possible. If 560 million Yadus were suddenly killed in a battle at that place, there would be a river of blood and great confusion of noise. How would it be possible for the hunter to arrive there to kill a deer? How would a deer, fearful in nature, remain in that place. Therefore, this killing of the Yadus was actually false. However, the Lord made Arjuna and others believe it in order to increase the prem and karuna ras of his devotees like Yudhishthir and make them give up this world. Karuna ras means the ras of sorrow. And for others, he did this to increase the wrong philosophy so that dharma would be stifled. Actually, after the Devatas had drunk wine and disappeared, the hunter came to that place, which was without sound and people. The battle was an illusion. Yasyatma yogorachitam navidur virishcho. Yasyatma yogam rachitam navidur virincho, I think. Rudradayosya tanaya patayo girampye tam mayaya pihita drishtaya etaranja king tasya te vayamasar katayo grinima. Neither Brahma nor his sons, headed by Rudra, nor any of the great sages who are masters of the Vedic mantras, can understand the workings of your mystic power, because your illusory potency has covered their sight. Therefore, how can I, such a low-born person, say immediately what has happened? I'm just checking the comments. Sārārtha-darśinī. Giram Pataya means the seers of the Vedas. Even they do not know about this, which is produced by your Maya. How can I, of a low birth, say immediately what has happened? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ma bharjare tamutishta kama esha krito hime yahi tam maranugyata swargam sukritinam padam. The Supreme Lord said, O Jara, do not fear. Please get up. What has been done is actually my desire. With my permission, go now to the abode of the devotees, the place for those who perform good acts. Sārārtha-darśinī. This is my desire. I had to accept the curse of the Brahmana. It was my desire. Go to the spiritual place of those who are the best action, of those with the best actions, my devotees. Go to Vaikuntha. Sukritanam means of those possessing good acts, to praise the hunter. Ityadishto Bhagavata Kṛṣṇe cha sharirina tri parikramyatam natva vimanena divam yayo. So instructed by the Supreme Lord Krishna, who assumes the best body by his own will, the hunter circumambulated the Lord 3 times and bowed down to him. Then the hunters departed in an airplane to the spiritual sky. Sārārtha-darśinī. Icha sharirina means by the Lord who possesses the best body by his desire. Daruka Krishna paravim anvicham adhigamyatam vayum tulasikamodam agrayabhimukam yayo. At that time, Daruka was searching for his own master, Krishna. Smelling the aroma of tulsi flowers in the breeze, he went in its direction. Tam tatra tigmadhyvirayudharvratam yashvattamole kritaketanam patim sneha plutatma nipapata padayo ratarava plutya sabhashpalochana. Upon seeing Lord Krishna resting at the foot of a banyan tree, surrounded by his shining weapons, Daruka could not control the affection he felt in his heart. His eyes filled with tears as he jumped down from his chariot and fell at the Lord's feet. Oh, it's already 8:31. I guess I won't finish now. Oh, we're so close. Can I finish? Oh, but Sri Mataji won't be able to join. Sri Mataji, I'll send you the verses. Is that okay? And then we can just finish because we're so close to the end. Apashyatas tvach charanam pujam prabhu drishti pranashta tamasi pravishta disho na jane na labe cha shantim yatha nishayam udupe pranashte. Daruka said, just as on a moonless night people are merged into darkness and cannot find their way, so I, having lost sight of your lotus feet, my Lord, have lost my vision and am wandering blindly in darkness. I cannot tell my direction, nor can I find any peace. Iti bruvati sute vairato Iti bruvati sute vai rato garudalanchana kam utpapata rajendra shashvadvaja udikshata. Shukadev Goswami continued, O foremost of kings, while the chariot driver was still speaking, before his very eyes, the Lord's chariot rose up into the sky along with its horses and its flag, which was marked with the emblem of Garuda. Tam anva gacham divyani Vishnu praharanani cha tenati vismitatmanam suttam ahar janardana. All the divine weapons of Vishnu followed the chariot. The Lord, Janardan, then spoke to his chariot driver, who was most astonished at seeing this. Gacha dvaravatim sutta gyati nam nidanamita sankarshanasya niryanam pandubhyo bruhimadasham. O driver, go to Dwarka and tell our family members about the mutual destruction of their relatives, the disappearance of Sankarshan, and my condition of unmanifest pastimes. Sārārtha-darśinī. Though the chariot was sent to Vaikuntha, the charioteer was not sent to Vaikuntha. This arrangement was made in order that Daruka would inform others of the present situation, and that he, who had originally come from Vaikuntha, would enter into the unmanifest pastimes in Dwarka, on seeing that in Dwarka there is an increase of prema with all the eternal associates, such as Uddhav. Daruka should inform others of the Lord's condition, that he would be performing unmanifest pastimes. Dvarakayam chanasteyam pavarbhishcha svabhandhubi maya tyaktam yadupurim samudra plavayishyati. You and your relatives should not remain in Dwarka, the capital of the Yadus, because once I have abandoned that city, it will be inundated by the ocean. Swam swam parigraham sarve adhaya pitarochana arjune navita sarva indraprastam gamishyata. You should all take your own families together with my parents, and under Arjuna's protection go to Indraprastha. Tvam tuma dharmamastaya jnananishta upekshaka manmaya rachitam etan vigyayo pashama vraja. You, Dwaraka, should be firmly situated in devotion to me, fixed in spiritual knowledge and unattached to material considerations. Understanding these pastimes to be a display of my illusory potency, you should remain peaceful. Sārārtha-darśinī. What is the nature of this arrangement of disappearing, since you have a form which is composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss? Be merciful and explain that to me. So the answer: this deceptive pastime was created by my Maya. Okay, this is the last verse, and now we're finished with the chapter. Ityuktastam parikramya namaskritya puna puna tatpado shishnupadhaya durmana prayayo purim. Thus ordered, Daruka circumambulated the Lord and offered obeisances to him again and again. He placed Lord Krishna's lotus feet upon his head and then, with a sad heart, went back to the city. Thus ends the commentary on the 30th chapter of the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam for the pleasure of the devotees in accordance with the previous acharyas. And so the day after tomorrow, we will read the last chapter of the 11th canto, chapter 31, because tomorrow I will be doing Chaitanya Bhagavat. That's why I went overtime today, because tomorrow we won't be able to read, and I didn't want to break it right at the end. So thanks for letting me go 6 minutes overtime. Oh, you can join longer today. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, great. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. I'll just do a quick Jaidwani because we're so late. Jai Shachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, Saparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, Shri Uddhav Gita Ki, sorry, we finished Uddhav Gita, so yeah, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Shri Panihati Ki Jai, Shriman Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Ki Jai, Saparshad Shri Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Raghava Pandit Damayanti Devi Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. That was a probably the most disturbing part of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but it's all, as we heard, this is all just the Lord's Maya. So this wasn't actually what happened in truth, it was what happened externally to deceive people. But yeah, anyhow. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be going live at 7:30, our normal time, on the Vine of Devotion channel. Well, my video is going to premiere at that time. And I'll go through the second half of the second chapter of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And the day after tomorrow, we will continue with our readings. Oh, the day after tomorrow is Snan Yatra. Whoa. Okay. So maybe we'll read from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and also about Snan Yatra and Sridhar Pandit's disappearance day. And the day after that is Shamananda Prabhu's day, his Shamananda Prabhu's disappearance day. So, and then Virkeshwar Pandit, and then Srivas Pandit. So lots of days coming up, lots of special days. All right, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Satya Mataji, and Narseshwari Mataji, Kishore Prabhu. Thanks for sharing all these verses about the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Kishore Prabhu. Thanks. Oh, this is a nice one. What is this? Heno Bhagavata kon duskriti poriya nityananda nindakore tattva na janiya. Despite his deep study, if one offends Nitai, he will never be able to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. All right, Hari Bol, everybody. Mohar. Hare Krishna.